The story begins with a boy named Wei-sol, who has just joined a new class. The teacher introduces him and says he is a skilled boxer. From now on, he will be the new head of their boxing class. All the students clap for him, but one boy, Wei-sol, doesn't look happy at all. He already knows Min-seok from their technical school, where Min-seok used to bully him every day. As soon as the teacher leaves, Min-seok shows his true nature. He beats up the toughest troublemaker in the class and takes control on the very first day. Then he grabs Wei-sol by the neck. A girl tries to stop him, but Min-seok slaps her and pushes her away. He looks at her and asks if she is Wei-sol's girlfriend and if that's why she cares so much. He even says he has no problem hitting girls. Frightened, Wei-sol holds his hand and begs him to stop. This only angers Min-seok more. He yells that Wei-sol has forgotten his lessons from middle school, then starts beating him brutally. Wei-sol wants to fight back. His eyes fall on a pen lying nearby. With shaking hands, he picks it up. Min-seok comes closer and says Wei-sol is a coward, and if he were a real man, he would have attacked him already. In panic, Wei-sol stabs the pen into Min-seok's eye. Min-seok screams in pain as the entire class watches in shock. Even Wei-sol is terrified by what he has done. After the incident, Wei-sol is taken to court. The court decides that he intentionally used a weapon, and Min-seok loses an eye. This is not considered self-defense, so Wei-sol is sentenced to 2 years in juvenile prison. His mother can only cry. When Wei-sol is taken to the prison bus, he sits near a dangerous inmate named Jung, someone everyone is too afraid to sit beside. Jung is a skilled MMA fighter. A boy steals Wei-sol's seat, forcing him to sit next to Jung. Once they reach the prison, the guards take everyone's belongings. Jung asks Wei-sol what he did. When Wei-sol quietly answers attempted murder, everyone around freezes. Jung immediately apologizes and lies that he has a similar case. Wei-sol and Jung are both assigned to the maintenance team. Inside this prison, every criminal belongs to a group. When Jung introduces himself to the others, he admits the truth. He is actually there for car theft. A senior inmate named Jung explains the rules. Here, rank is decided by fighting. If you can't fight, disappear, or you'll be erased. At this time, the prison has 3 powerful groups. The first is led by Sung-hep, a judo champion with unmatched skills. The second is Won, who becomes uncontrollable when angry. The third is Sung-yong, who looks small but can destroy anyone. To gain full control, Won and Jung create a plan. They fake a fight, accuse Sung-hep of attacking them, and claim he stole smoking supplies. Because of the lie, Sung-hep is sent to solitary confinement, leaving the prison power in the hands of Won and Jung. But the real power belongs to someone else, someone even all 3 combined couldn't defeat. His name is Jing. Wei-sol knows nothing about him. Jung tells Wei-sol that Jing is the same man he sat next to on the bus. Jing won 3 lightweight championships in a row and became the world champion at just 18. But when he went home to celebrate, he found his sister dead on the floor with her throat cut, and his mother lying dead nearby. He was attacked from behind by a masked intruder with a rope around his neck. The intruders didn't know who they were dealing with. Jing lifted one of them and slammed him on a table, then killed the other 2. The court called it excessive self-defense and sent him to prison. Won and Jung both want a new fighter for their groups. Won picks Jung, and Jung wants Wei-sol. During a game, Won is about to score when Jung stops him and tells Wei-sol to kick the ball instead. Nervous, Wei-sol accidentally kicks the ball directly between Won's legs. Won falls in pain. Furious, he grabs Wei-sol and drags him away, just like Min-seok used to do back in school. Wei-sol realizes he is about to get beaten again. At that moment, Jing walks by. Wei-sol runs to him and asks for help. Won tells Jing to mind his own business because he just wants to talk to Wei-sol. Jing replies that it doesn't look like talking, and he pulls Wei-sol away. Won gets angry and attacks Jing, but Jing knocks him out with one slap. Won tries again, and Jing finishes him with one punch. Later, Wei-sol is studying with other inmates when an unexpected visitor arrives, Min-seok. He is missing his right eye, his boxing career is over, and he is furious. He tells Wei-sol he will wait outside every day. When Wei-sol gets released, his real hell will begin. Wei-sol is terrified and begs for mercy, but Min-seok refuses. Shaking, Wei-sol returns to class. He looks outside and sees Jing running in the yard. He goes to him and thanks him for helping earlier. Jing tells him not to worry, he is safe for now. Wei-sol tries offering him milk cartons to start a conversation, but Jing ignores him. Still, Waesol brings one every day until Jing gets annoyed. He tells Waesol never to leave a milk carton again. Waesol follows Jing and says people don't trouble him anymore. He just wants to become like Jing, strong. Jing asks why. What will he do with strength? Hurt others? Bully the weak? Waesol says no. People beat him and bully him. He's tired. He wants an ordinary life. Jing listens, then says he will train him if he can run 100 laps in 40 minutes. Jing does it in 30. Waesol starts running with him, but quickly falls behind, exhausted. Memories of past bullying push him, and he keeps running until his body gives out. He collapses before completing the challenge, but Jing sees his determination and accepts him as a student. Jing arranges for Waesol to be moved into his cell and begins his training immediately. Waesol struggles, even with simple push-ups. Jing tells him he will push his limits every day. Waesol trains without stopping. After days of intense practice, he becomes faster, stronger, and more confident. Meanwhile outside, Min-seok walks in the street. Two men insult him and tell him to move aside. He quietly steps away, but later breaks their car's side mirror. They attack him, but he beats both badly. Their boss, a gangster, watches and is impressed. He offers Min-seok work and hands him a card. Min-seok refuses and flips him off. The gangster smirks and says he knows Min-seok is half-blind. He challenges him. If Min-seok can dodge his slap, he'll let him go. Min-seok attacks, but the gangster easily slaps him and drops him. He tells Min-seok to train under him and become even stronger. Desperate to grow stronger, Min-seok agrees. Later, at the gangster's office, the guards try to stop him, but Min-seok beats all of them alone. Even the senior guard can't stop him. The gangster is pleased. Inside the prison, Jang warns Waesol that even though he has become stronger, he still might not defeat one. Also, Jang will soon be transferred to adult prison. Waesol is shocked. He didn't know this. He runs to Jing and asks if it's true. Jing says he can't stay with him forever. Waesol must continue training on his own. At that moment, Jang is captured by one's men and beaten because he failed to bring Waesol. Waesol arrives and attacks one of the students, rescuing Jang and getting him out of there. The students run back to Won and report everything. Won orders them to bring Waesol to him no matter what. They go to Waesol again. Jung tries to push them away, but Waesol stops him and decides to face Won. When they approach, Won is furious. He attacks Waesol, but Waesol dodges and slaps him so hard he falls to the ground. Everyone is shocked. Won becomes enraged and beats Waesol badly. Waesol fights back, but is knocked down again. Won thinks it's over, but Waesol slowly stands up. The inmates stare in disbelief. Waesol grabs Won's collar and slams his forehead into Won's face repeatedly. Won collapses. Waesol climbs on top of him and punches him again and again until Jing arrives and pulls him away. The next day, training begins again. Waesol seems distracted. Jing punches him and tells him to focus. This time, Waesol reacts quickly, dodges his attacks, and stops his fist right next to Jing's face. Jing is impressed. He tells him he has improved, but needs more discipline. He mentions that something seems to be bothering Waesol. They end the session early. Waesol assumes Jing is leaving because of him, but Jing explains that he is being transferred to adult prison. Waesol is devastated. Before leaving, Jing tells him he is better than expected. Even for an athlete, this training is difficult, yet Waesol handled it all. Jing tells him that sharks don't have swim bladders. If they stop moving, they sink to the bottom and die. That's why sharks always keep swimming forward. He says Waesol is just like a shark. If he stops training, he will become weak again. No matter what happens, he must never stop. After saying this, Jing picks up his belongings and leaves. Waesol feels the separation deeply and begins to cry. But Jing's words stay in his mind, and he immediately resumes his training. After Jing leaves, Waesol is reassigned to Yong's team. Yong's men distract the officer and quietly take Waesol away. Jung tells him he wants a fight. If Waesol wins, Jung will do whatever he says. Waesol answers that if he wins, Jung must stop fighting and stop troubling the other inmates forever. Jung agrees. He wants to fight 5 days later, but Waesol insists they fight now. Angry, Jung kicks him repeatedly. Waesol expects a strike to his arm, but Jung suddenly kicks him in the head, knocking him down. Jung says he'll wait for him in 5 days. The captain of the maintenance team, Sung, has been released from solitary confinement. After hearing that Waesol defeated one, he starts mocking Waesol. Won gets irritated and tells him that Waesol wants to take Seng's position. Hearing this, Sung becomes uneasy. He goes to the maintenance team to ask about Waesol. Waesol arrives, and Sung directly asks if he wants to take his role as captain. Waesol calmly says no, and Sung feels relieved. Days later, Bi-seok visits Waesol. He has heard that even the gangsters' guards talk about Waesol after he defeated one. Bi-seok is surprised and says he can't believe it. Maybe Waesol is actually preparing to face him one day. He says he looks forward to that moment, but warns Waesol not to forget who he is. Then he leaves. Finally, the day of Waesol and Young's fight arrives. Young's teammates and other inmates gather to watch. Sung suggests ending all this fighting, saying it has only brought punishment and trouble. Waesol arrives and asks Jung if he'll keep his promise if he loses. Jung says everyone is watching. He can't back out. If he loses, he'll stop bullying and stop causing fights. Jung immediately attacks. His speed is extremely fast. At first, Waesol can't keep up, but gradually he begins to counter. Suddenly, Jung kicks him hard in the head, and Waesol falls to the ground. Everyone thinks it's over, but Waesol stands up again. Jung traps Waesol's neck between his legs and tries to choke him out, but Waesol hits his thigh repeatedly until Jung releases him. Seizing the chance, Waesol grabs Jung's neck from behind and climbs onto his back. Jung slams him against the wall, trying to break free, but Waesol doesn't let go. They both fall to the ground. Waesol tells him he's losing and asks if he'll keep his promise. Jung refuses at first, but soon he can't breathe and finally accepts defeat. The guards rush in. Because of the fight, Waesol is thrown into a cell. After some time, he is released. Sung brings him before Won and Jung. He says that until they leave this place, none of the four of them will fight. He wants their foolish conflict to end and a truce to begin. Won laughs and mocks him, asking what they will do if he refuses. Sung says if they don't listen, he'll have no choice but to get strict with them, and they can already see that his team can't be challenged anymore. Waesol also tells them with respect that it's time to stop fighting and change themselves. Jung keeps his promise and abandons fighting. Won has no choice but to agree as well. After that, the four of them become good friends and start eating together. Jung even teaches Waesol how to kick like him. A few days later, Waesol's release day arrives. He goes to look at the yard one last time and remembers the moment when Jing advised him to use his shoulder to win a fight. After leaving prison, he is walking home when Bi-seok appears. Waesol asks him something he has been thinking about for a long time. Why does Bi-seok hate him so much? What did he ever do to him? Why has Bi-seok always tormented him? Bi-seok calmly says he doesn't hate him, and there's nothing special about Waesol that would make him hate him. Hearing this, they both take off their jackets and the fight begins. Bi-seok attacks violently and beats Waesol badly until he can barely stand. But when Waesol gets an opening, he punches Bi-seok hard in the face. Bi-seok stumbles. Waesol covers his face with Bi-seok's own jacket and starts hitting him repeatedly. Waesol collapses, bleeding from the face. Bi-seok asks if he really thought he could win. Then Bi-seok tells him something. One day, Waesol's mother came to him, begging him to spare her son's life. He kicked her out. Hearing this ignites a fire inside Waesol. He remembers everything Jing taught him. Blood covers his face, but he refuses to give up. Bi-seok hits him again and again, and Waesol returns every strike. They exchange blows nonstop. Then Waesol delivers Jing's special round punch. Bi-seok crashes to the ground, his face covered in blood. Driven by rage, Bi-seok charges again, but he is so angry he can't control himself. Waesol waits for the right moment and delivers a fast kick just like Jung taught him. Bi-seok falls. He stands up once more and punches Waesol in the face. But now Waesol has become so hardened that he feels no pain. Bi-seok turns his head away in fear. Waesol feels pity for him, leaves him on the ground, and quietly walks away. A few days later, Waesol visits Jing in prison. Jing is happy to see him. Waesol smiles and says he went to an aquarium to see sharks. Jing once told him sharks never rest, that even when they sleep, they keep moving. But the sharks he saw were staying still. Jing laughs and says the ones he saw must have been dead. Waesol bursts into loud laughter, and Jing laughs with him. And with that, the story ends. If you liked this video, then I highly recommend these two videos on your screen.